What's up guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be going over how to produce a pop EDM song. I'm thinking in the realm of Chainsmokers, like that kind of thing where it's still like pretty pop, like it's got pop vocals, it's got pop melodies, pop elements, but it does have a nice like big drop. Yeah, basically like mostly I'm a pop producer, but every once in a while I get an artist like this one that wanted dance elements in their pop song, particularly a drop. So I wanted to go over this with you guys, like specifically how to structure a song like that, how to produce like a very powerful dance drop. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So, all right, let's go section by section. The first thing that I have in here is an intro, and it sounds like this. All right, so this is super simple. Obviously, it's just electric guitar and a vocal chop. The guitar is a sample from Splice. I will not pretend otherwise. Usually for a lot of stuff, like I will play, one of my co-writers will play like guitar, piano, synths, whatever. But this particular song, like this was just straight all loop from Splice, and it worked quite well. The vocal chop, on the other hand, is me singing. I do this a lot, you know. It's nice to have a singer available. You just pull up a mic and you use the voice as an instrument, which I really strongly recommend to any of you guys that are producers that sing, even if it's for a project that isn't your own. Like this is not my song, but I enjoy like using my voice as an instrument. So this is what this sounds like soloed. It's honestly really simple processing. It's just tuned with auto-tune. Then it's got Valhalla vintage verb, which, as you guys know, is my fetish. I literally live for this plugin. It's cranked all the way to mix 100%, really long decay. Like it literally looks like I haven't even touched any of the settings. I was just like, I just plugged it in and just the default settings were like literally what I wanted to use on this, which works not often, but sometimes it works like that. So then I'm just rolling off the top end of this, because without that it will be very like sharp, because obviously this is a vocal that's tuned up, right? It would sound very like, but for the intro I wanted it to be like a little bit more contained, a little bit smaller, so that's why I did that. You know, because, and otherwise, like if you listen to this without anything, it's like pretty ugly, right? Because it's tuned up. Oh my God, it's really tuned up. Where did I actually sing this? Oh my God, it's terrible. It sounds so bad. I think it's so low. So it's crazy that like it was tuned. It seems like I changed keys on this too. I didn't even realize I did that. Probably from the time we wrote it. But yeah, I mean, from that to this is a big difference. So yeah, that's the intro. And then basically it flows right into the verse, and that's where he starts singing. I'm not gonna play you guys the vocals. I want to focus on the track mostly. But yeah, basically this is what happens. So we've got immediately like a dance approach to this. Dun, dun, ta, dun, dun, ta. It's like a reggaeton rhythm. This is not a reggaeton song, but just having like more of a rhythmic approach to the drums is like a little bit of like a dance music move. Like if I were producing this more for like myself, I probably would have been like do, 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 ta, and maybe like no kick, literally just like a snap or something like that, or I might have just not even had any drums. But for this approach, yeah, we immediately have a kick that just goes do, 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 like a heartbeat kick almost, and we've got a little snap. This is honestly a very simple production in most places. It gets a bit more complex as it gets towards the drop, but the verse is super simple. Just got this little snap. Again, I'm killing it on that Valhalla and also have a bit of the top rolled off as well, just to kind of have the snap be like a little like chiller, because without it, it's very much not chill. It's like very bright, kind of tinny. So a lot of the times I look for like the right sample, but with this one I was just like, no, I'm just gonna process it myself. So verbing it out, taking off some of those higher frequencies, like did the trick for me. But yeah, it's extremely simple. You know, just the guitar and the drums. Then what we have is the pre-chorus right after this. So, okay, yeah, so the song is about like summer memories, and I'm playing off of that with some of this production. Yeah, I like the sound over here. Those are timbales, if I'm sure, yeah, like a little bit of a Latin percussion, which I think is like a nice touch because like automatically when I hear this sound, I'm like, I'm at the beach. And yeah, that's why I chose it, is because the song is about summer memories. Let's see what else transitions into this. Okay, oh yeah, we have this little bit of like shaker percussion. I'm not even sure this is shaker. Just like very wet. I don't even know what it is. It's just, I think it's like supposed to be some kind of like Latin drum loop. And again, I think I chose it also because it kind of sounded like summery and like it supported the top line. So, and then another thing in here, basically the whole concept of this pre-chorus is that it builds a little bit, like not too much, but it builds just a touch. So I introduced back that melody, right? Because really the truth is, like, this is our hook right here. Like, there are melodic hooks in the top line, but instrumentally this is our hook, so I'm trying to incorporate it like everywhere. I'm getting a little bit of a bass too, this 808 right here. Yeah, just super simple. I'm pretty sure this is Sublab. Yep, it is. Yeah, I love this preset, this mask off preset. It's just so clean, like immediately just works so well. And I didn't want anything like too distorted, too like badass sounding. It's like I want something smooth because the song is like very smooth. So that's why I chose that. It's really like not very aggressive and just is nice, you know? And then I have like a very simple riser into the chorus. Yeah, and all I'm doing is just panning left and right with Pancake. Yeah, this is very, very simple. A lot of the times with songs like this where the verse is driven by guitar, it does need to be simple. Like, you know, it's supposed to feature like that one instrument, the guitar, and then the singer. So I try to like back off and not, you know, insert myself where I don't need to insert myself as a producer. So, and then we have a chorus right after this, which is a down chorus, which for those of you that don't know, it means the chorus, instead of getting big going up, it gets smaller, right? And usually this happens if there's a part after that is big. So a post-chorus or a drop in this case, which really the only difference is like drop is like dance bass, specifically like the drum bass kind of approach. Usually it doesn't have vocals either on top of it, like melody and words. It's usually like a vocal chop or synth or something that's taking the lead. And post-chorus is usually going to be like melodic and lyrical. So the only difference, but the idea behind the dynamic is the same. The chorus gets small and then the next section is really big. So that's what happens here. Okay, all right. So we've got a little bit of it's really simple. It's just mostly, you know, our little like guitar drop. We've got a little, I call them impacts. I don't even know what to call them otherwise. I think traditionally an impact is like a boom, one of those, like for dance music, but this sounds like this. I like little like noise things like this. I like it to insert them in a lot of tracks just because even if it's turned down really low, it adds a little something extra, like especially for when you're trying to be subtle. Sometimes I'm not trying to be subtle. I'm like, bah, crash, like let me like let you know this is the chorus. In this case I was trying to be subtle, so I chose this like tiny little like air impact. Like I feel like this is like a tire being let out or something with reverb on it. Yeah, I like a lot of little like things like that. But in the second half of this chorus, we start to have a snare build, which these again are super traditional dance music. It's just like the reggaeton 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, and then it gets to 16ths and then 30 seconds, boom, and we go to the drop. I mean, this is like classic example. You can even like download this one. You can see all the cuts I made it myself, but you can download things like that from Splice, like literally like full on like builds like that, and just plop it in and maybe adjust it a little bit. But that's a very classic move. I also have the same sweep riser here. I have a couple of them, looks like. Okay, yeah, so I have one that's like very aggressive, like all the way from really whole frequency range, like we can hear that. And this one is less like, there's less of a pitch elevation, and it's just more gets louder and like brighter as far as what the content of this riser is. That's why I have two of them. So, and then I have a little like reverse crash in here as well, right before the drop. Yeah, it's like this like feeling. It works every time. Yeah, interesting. I actually really like that. I have like a little bit of like, this is an interesting little transition because yeah, I have these sweeps that end right here, half bar before the drop. Then I have this little reverse crash, half bar before the drop. And then I also have that timbali, right? Oh no, this is a different, oh, this is like a very short little fill that I've got. Interesting. Oh yeah, I do have the timbali down here. It's the same as it was before. Do it like that. And then I have also this on top of it. So together there's very interesting, like tiny little bit of layering that like really helps bring in this drop, which sounds like this. Okay, yeah. So, all right, so the main thing I'm going to tell you guys about this drop, it's basically like this melody, the one that we had in the pre and the intro, but it is kind of chopped up to be a little more sort of hectic and a little more note heavy. So we have like a more energetic lead line basically. And it's doing this. Okay, that is like basically what is carrying this drop. It's giving it emotion, it's giving it a lead. It really is giving something for the listener to hold on to. I am very curious as to what I'm using on here. Let's check that out. So I see, yeah, a lot of these, I just like hand like cut these pieces and transpose them to where I heard them. Like that was 21. Semitones up, that one, oh, it looks like I've already processed it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so I think like a lot of these I just like cut them up and process them. And then a lot of what they sound like is actually like in this processing. Obviously there's the Valhalla. See, I have a lot less on the mix because I want this to like stand out in the section, where in the earlier sections it was very much like washed out and in the background, and that's the big difference, is because I'm really trying to like make the listener pay attention to this. And then I have RC20 on it as well. Oh, I have the bit crusher. Okay. I do like that a lot because, you know why? Because it helps it, again, like that bit crushing. It creates a lot of high frequency content in this track. So it makes it, it just helps it like stand out in that mix, like cut through that mix. I do think it works. And then another thing I did on here is I pitched this up even more, even another octave up. I mean, this is just like dogs can hear this and we barely can. It's very, very high. But yeah, it's just, there's no bit crushing on this because I wanted that to be a little bit more like turned down, like in the background, like not as harsh, because if you add like some harshness to that already harsh vocal, it's like, yee, my ears are bleeding. So it's a little bit like turned down and tucked in, but together they're very, like, they stand out. Yeah, they do. So, and then we have, what is this? Oh, I see. So I have an 808 and then I have like a buzz on top of it. So yeah, okay. So I'm using my favorite sublab for this 808. And then I think what makes it interesting is just kind of how it's sliding around in here. So let me see. Yeah, the pitch bends on it. I do this a lot. If you guys know any of my tracks, you guys know I do this on like every song that has an 808. I'm like, oh, where can it slide? Does it slide down? Does it slide up? It's like, it does really help create that movement. And you have to think of it as a real bass player. You know how they do slides, how it's like not everything is note, perfect. Not that this sounds live, it completely does it, but it like creates that feel of like, oh, it's looser. It's like got a vibe, because like that's one thing I always try to avoid is everything being like perfect. Like if everything is just like super digital, super perfect, it sounds kind of like there's no vibe there. So we're trying to create that feeling, you know what I mean? Because that's what music is about. It's about emotion. So yeah, and then we've got the buzz, as I call it. So in this, I've tuned down. It's basically like a big like one of these like drones, but I took out the bottom and then emphasized the highs. And basically like just crushed it with limiting. It just made it like very like so, and it's turned out pretty low, but it helps create that feeling of power in this chorus, because without it just wouldn't have like that, you know, kind of emotion. It's like a little smoother without it. So, which is also like, it could have been a choice. It would have been fine, but I wanted that, so I got that. So, and then I have like a couple of little like hey hype. I got a little like, again, like a tropical like shakasha. You know, I'm pretty sure like for this song I had to look in my 2016 folder, because that's when tropical house was like killing it, like more than anything. So I looked in some of my old samples that I saved just to like bring back some of those tropical vibes to this. Yeah, and then, you know, I have a lot of hype, like, whoa, hey, you know, this is from our Splice kit. I have a lot of like hype, yup, yeah, like stuff like that in there, so check it out. Yeah, and then we just have honestly a lot of like top loops. Like we've got just like a little top loop here, a hat for sure. I mean, almost every drop like that I hear around this tempo, it's gonna have like a trap hi-hat in it. So we did that. Then we get the kick. One note about this gig, it's got like a very crisp attack on it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to like feel like a dance kick, as opposed to like something that I normally use are more like the hip hop kicks, which are a little wider. Like there's more mid-range. There's usually some dirt in the mid-range. Like this is a very clean kick, because I just wanted that like that EDM feel to it, like just really, really clean, so the other things can like take priority and be more noticed. Burp. Then I have some like extra drums in here. I'm pretty sure this goes with the snare. Let me see. Yeah, like very quietly in the background. It's just like a filtered big snare that's just like, it's not meant to be the main snare. It's meant to be like a snare thickener. Meant to just like give you like something in the background to make you go, oh, like this is the big part. So a lot of the times I thicken drums with like things like that where it doesn't take the lead, but it really helps. Where is my snare? Oh, it's in here. I was like, yeah, I haven't seen the actual lead snare. Oh, I see. It's just a couple of them layered. Yeah, I mean, I specifically looked for like a trap EDM snare. I mean, that's a good thing about it being 2020. I remember back in the day when I was producing in like 2010, you know, whatever samples you had is what you had. It was really hard to get them. You know, you kind of made do with what you had. And if you've never done a certain genre before, if you don't do a genre very like frequently, it was one of those things where you were just like, oh, well, I guess I don't have those samples. I can't do it. Or you had to go like buy a kit of samples. It was hard. Now you just, you know, I type in like trap EDM on Splice and I get like all the sounds that I need if I'm like really trying to be like on the nose with the track, which a lot of artists, they want you to be on the nose. They want it to be like this genre, like this thing. So it helps to have like access to these kits these days. So, and then I have like another snare on here. Oh, I see. Oh, they're different. I see. Yeah, these are like little thickeners. I just want it to be like kind of wider and like just smack. Like for the attack of it. So that's cool. That's cool. I see. And then of course I have a little bit of this like pulsing synth on Serum. Like a little bit of like that future house feel. I see. Yeah, these, I don't have like a lot of synths, but these do take up a lot of room. If you take these out, check it out. It's a lot smaller than it was. Like these things, they fill a lot of the mid-range. They're like, yeah, so honestly, this is kind of it. Everything else just kind of like repeats. There's like other things that build a little bit, but like this is the kind of the idea of how to build a song like this, you know, and we go straight back to the guitar basically after the drop. Yeah, and that's why I also don't have it in the drop, because like everywhere else, guitar, like the times it's taken out is the drop times. So, and it feels satisfying to get back to it, because if it was in the whole time, it'd be like, oh wow, I heard this so much, I'm done. So yeah, this is basically like the basic idea of how to make a song like this. Really just like you have to focus on the dynamics of how it builds, where it drops down, where it builds up. But yeah, this is like the simplest process on how to do that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Ask me any questions that you have, and I'll go kind of fast and, you know, don't explain every single thing on the screen. So if you have questions, ask me, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.